It is easy to let time slip by without a second thought. Green grass, the brightly shining sun, and her. 𝕎𝕤𝕚𝕚 Junior Homeroom 8, she was there. I just want to give her a little gift along with her lost diary. But I was being consumed by the school. Investigation report titled The Mental Health of the Students, the Anxiety of Students and Their Ineffective Coping Methods, written by school administration manager and Korean language teacher. Many of our students suffer from considerable anxiety about their future. This is quite natural considering their state as adolescents. However, some students are using odd methods in an attempt to cope with their anxiety issues. These odd coping methods are spreading across the school like wildfire. In a way, this brings light to the fact that the students today lack responsibility and a sense of identity. The real problem, however, is that some of these odd coping methods are taken as more than just a joke. They are turning into a frantic religion. Students who have yet to form a solid sense of identity are more easily lured into joining these frantic sects. One of the main coping methods the students are using is the act of calling the dead. Using the Ouija board, students attempt to call upon the dead to quell the uncertainties they face by asking the ghost questions or even to predict the future. At a glance, it could be dismissed as an immature act of self-reassurance that can be safely ignored. However, that is not the case. When such acts are committed repeatedly, the students will often eventually lose his or her grasp on reality, and in some extreme cases, the students exhibits a full-on psychological breakdown. This matter must be resolved for the safety of the school, and heavily supervision is advised until a faculty notes, attention all teachers working night shifts. The passcode to the principal's office has been changed due to the recent leak of the previous passcode. The passcode is on the chalkboard in the student department office written with a piece of special chalk that is invisible under fluorescent light. The principal does not approve of others entering his office while he's away. Please use the passcode only in cases of emergencies or special circumstances. Vice Principal SML of Y High School. Class Materials 2, Oriental Studies, Interesting Theory of Five Elements, Teacher Vice Principal SML. The theory of five elements is made up of a cycle of harmony and aversion. Harmony being an energy aiding another energy to flow better, and it is a forward movement in the cycle. In contrast, aversion is when a energy is going against another energy to block its flow and is a backwards movement in the cycle. The flow of aversion as follows: metal, wood, metal can cut through wood, Wood, earth, wood takes nutrients from earth. Earth, water, earth can block water from flowing. Water, fire, water, exhaust, fire, fire, metal, as fire melts metal, and then the cycle repeats. The flow of harmony is as follows. Fire and earth, fire returns to earth after being exhausted. Earth and metal, metal is extracted from earth. Metal and water, metal becomes the source for water. Water and wood, water raises wood. Wood and fire, as wood burns to create fire, and the cycle resumes from the first. In the cycle of harmony, there is a hidden principle that all wrongs will be rightened. This can be said to be a true reflection of the depth of Eastern philosophy. Truth Finder 2, Why Newspapers Spring Issue. Let's learn about Morse code. Morse code is a communication code invented and developed by 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬 that can compose and send sentences using short and long signals. It is considered the most basic emergency communication device due to the fact that you can communicate using very simple signals. As Morse code is composed of short and long signals, you do not need a special device to communicate as long as you can express it. For example, you may send messages by controlling the speed at which you can blink or tap your fingers. For this characteristic, it appears often in books and movies where the main character in danger uses it to secretly send messages without being found out by the enemy. The original Morse code requires that you pause about 3 short signals between sending of a text, but depending on the situation, it's possible to send signals continuously. In such cases, you want to analyze it in sections broken up using the same number as the signals. For example, if it's a number, every 5 signals indicate a number. So for a 4-digit number, it would be 5 times 4 equal 20. Thus, you would analyze 20 signals in sections of 5. Caffeine in teenagers. Coffee is the most popular beverage containing caffeine. Moderate consumption of caffeine can stimulate the central nervous system, boosting work performance and reducing fatigue. On average, consumption no more than 400 mg is recommended to enjoy the health benefits. A cup of coffee contains approximately 100 mg of caffeine. Regular consumption of caffeinated products such as coffee can lead to caffeine addiction and eventually cause withdrawal symptoms. Common withdrawal symptoms include fatigue, nausea, vomiting, hypotension, and headache. However, the harmful properties of caffeine itself are not worrisome. It is when the caffeine is consumed in excess that it becomes a health hazard. Overconsumption of caffeine leads to the most of harmful symptoms, and continuous consumption can lead to death. For adults, the lethal dosage of caffeine is 150 mg/kg or about 50 to 200 cups of coffee. The lethal dose is much lower for children and teenagers. Caffeine is also known to cause birth defects like alcoholic and nicotine. Caffeine is a drug with addictive properties, but unlike the others, it does not have any age restrictions. Therefore, it is important to better understand the properties of caffeine and moderate its consumption. Occult Club announcement, event announcement from the Cult Club. With the start of a new term, we have prepared an event for everyone. We will give out a small prize for anyone who can solve this quiz and bring the hidden treasure to our club. The treasure is sleeping under a place covered by the dust and erase of knowledge. It can only be woken by the hand that handshakes every day. The hidden treasure is a clue to one of the latest ghost stories of the school that's quickly gaining fame. Whoever finds it first can have it. No one has been able to collect the full series so far, and therefore it is a high commodity collectible among students. It's a great opportunity to get both the clue for the latest ghost story and the handsome prize. We hope all you participate. P.S. If by any chance you collect all the clues to the ghost stories through this event, please contact the president of the occult club. Treasure hunt. I found out a new secret about the music teacher's hidden treasure. One of the paintings in the main building is said to have a key inside it that unlocks the room. I'm so close to winning this treasure hunt that I can almost taste it. Dusty stationery paper to JWK. Please forgive me for not saying goodbye in person. I am being forced to leave, all because of a sick rumor. Should you hear a rumor about me, please do not pay any attention to it. It's a story made up by people plotting against me. Once I leave, I'm sure you'll be bored because there will be no one left to entertain your ridiculous theories and ideas. For me, I'll be sad because there will be no one to understand my world of art. To ease the sadness of saying goodbye, I leave you a farewell gift. It's a painting of you holding your first art piece. I think you said you created that piece to hide something important, right? Anyways, I wish you good health and good luck in the future. Code 8124. Water disconnection report. The water to the main building has been disconnected due to an undetermined reason. However, a single sink in the science lab on the third floor of the main building 2 still has running water. The students seem to find this disturbing. A major repair will be conducted to rectify our current water problem. Vice Principal SML. The principal's document, name JWK, date of birth January 22, 1970, gender male, religion NA, subject music, family NA, special note, 1. Committed suicide on school grounds in 2000. 2. No family or friends appeared after his death. 3. Seemed antisocial and exhibited eccentric behavior from the start. 4. Created and spread rumors about a conspiracy in the school. 5. Showed some signs of paranoia, installed a lock on the music supply room for his exclusive use and would hide the piano chair key so nobody else could find it. 6. He was being closely monitored around the time of his death. The possibility of murder cannot be ruled out, but given the weight of the evidence found, it is most likely that he committed suicide. Name NYH, date of birth September 23, 1980, gender female, senior year, homeroom 11, special note, 1. A top student during the first 2 years, but her grades began to fall when she entered the 3rd year. 2. The cause of her grade slipping was not found. She did not appear to be having issues at school or home. 3. She was found dead in the school, lacking any evidence for murder. Her death was ruled a suicide by hanging. Name unknown, date of birth unknown, gender female, address unconfirmed. Special note, 1. A delusional woman who began wandering around the school 2 or 3 years ago. 2. Will sometimes trespass onto school grounds but does not show any concerning behavior. 3. She may be involved with the accident 3 years ago, but there is no evidence linking her. 4. Exhibits a particular sensitivity to the alarms, fire, and security that cause her to have seizures.
Oh, you're still here? What's happening? Are you lost?
No, I didn't leave because I'm worried about you. Or no, I was leaving.
Worried? About me? You mentioned Ji-hyun earlier, right? Could you help me then? Because I need to find her. Why Ji-hyun came to school at this hour. And the same can be said about you, too. There seems to be a lot of people who shouldn't be here tonight. Many kids say they saw a ghost on the staircase. They say there's a kid who just sits here and cries, right here. If you pass and don't know it's a ghost, it'll grab your ankle. Do you believe in stuff like that?
Yeah, I do now, or, well, I'm not sure.
I believe it too. That's why I snuck in. You feel that? So creepy, right? They say you get goosebumps when a ghost passes through your body. Every time I'm here, I get this strange vibe, like someone or something is watching me. The music teacher who committed suicide used to say the same thing, that there's something in this school. After the teacher died, a rumor spread that there was a relic containing the school's secret hidden somewhere here. In the end, nobody ever found it. Over here. Let's try in here. I thought you were going to help me find Ji-hyun. Ugh, I'm so tired of you. Are you just gonna stand there? The faculty office feels kind of odd at night. Sometimes I think the teachers are the ghosts of the people who died in this school.
They are watching us to someday make us their next sacrifice.
Even at this very moment.
You're letting your imagination run wild, or do you have any proof?
Don't you think, since we're locked in, that kind of proves it?
Hey, Soyoung!
Ji-hyun, you really are here. What are you doing here so late at night?
What do you mean? You called and told me to come.
So I called you?
Yeah.
Hey, I need to talk to Ji-hyun. You go to the new building and try to find a way out of here.
State of the School Report, titled Inappropriate Rumors in School. Games like treasure hunting are becoming a quick spreading fad among the students, but this is no average treasure hunt. It's to find the CD which belongs to the deceased music teacher who committed suicide on school premises last year. The rumor is that Mr. K, the music teacher, had left a CD before his death which contains his last words and the secret of the school. According to the students, the clues Mr. K has left are being found periodically, raising the credibility of the rumor. This rumor has come to the point where it's disrupting class. Some students are even known to bet huge amounts of money on this. All homeroom teachers are advised to be aware of this situation and to pay special attention in regards to this issue. Class announcement, new advanced mathematics class. To better encourage students to excel in mathematics, we are designating Junior Homeroom 7 as new advanced mathematics class. From now on, top students in mathematics will receive math lessons according to their level during 5th period. We ask all homeroom teachers to relay this announcement to their classes and submit a list of their qualifying students by next week. That is all. A note in the faculty lounge. Get rid of the broken stereo system in the music supply room. The rumor that the broken stereo plays by itself is causing even more chaos in the student community, which is already in disarray. The students won't even enter the music room. Since it belonged to JWK, who killed himself last year, put it away with the rest of his personal artifacts in the lost and found room. Newspaper scrap accident report of March 16, 19XX. On March 15th around 9:50 p.m. there was a fire in the home economics room at White High School in Seoul, killing one female student. The fire damaged hundreds of dollars worth of property but caused little structural damage. This was only a small fire that was put out in a matter of minutes. The accident happened right after the end of night classes, so most students were out of the building, but one student was killed while waiting for her mother. She was suffering from asthma, and the police believes that she died from an asthma attack triggering the sudden fire. The authorities are investigating further to determine her exact cause of death. 13. A one-sided love. YS, a junior in high school, was happy to attend school lately because of her new Korean language teacher, tall and handsome. The new teacher also had a great personality. He never yelled or got mad at his students during his lessons, and he always stayed calm. YS felt her heart race when the teacher complimented her on her writing. The teacher even noticed when she recently changed her glasses and told her that the new glasses suited her well. Just thinking about him made YS jitter with happiness. YS was really an average student. In fact, it would be more accurate to say that she was below average. She wasn't pretty or cute, nor was she good at academics or sports. She also gained weight in the last few years, and even her own mother would nag her about losing some weight. She wasn't popular among her friends, and she was not particularly adored by teachers either. She was just a quiet student, always there in her same spot. That was how people around her would define her. YS2 knew that she was no one special and tried to keep her crush to herself. But as time passed on, she could not hold her growing feelings inside. She didn't even expect to date her crush or anything. She only just wanted to let him know how she felt about him. YS worked up her courage and wrote an earnest letter. Next day, right before Korean language class started, she secretly placed her love letter inside the attendance sheet. She could not dare to give her letter to him in person. As the time reached close for the class to begin, her heartbeat went faster and faster. Finally, the bell rang and the class began, but the teacher who came through the door was not the Korean language teacher. It was the gym teacher who she disliked the most. He said that because the Korean language teacher is running late, he will be supervising the class. YS felt a cold sweat, many things racing through her mind. Would he call out attendance? Would he find my letter? If he did, would he just pretend he didn't see it? But the reality she faced was harsh. The gym teacher opened up the attendance sheet, found YS's letter, and read it out to the whole class. The classroom filled with the snickering, openly mocking her that even the fat, ugly kid yearns love just like everyone else. The disgusted looks and sneering from the class made her scared. Every single one of them was her enemy. She felt as if she had fallen into hell, surrounded by demons. Right at the moment the Korean language teacher entered the classroom, to White S, he seemed like her savior. He was confused by the strange vibe in the classroom. The gym teacher, getting such a kick out of this situation, handed White S's letter to him. White S looked at him and hoped that he would calm the situation down and make things right. The Korean language teacher finished reading the letter and turned to see White S. His face was twisted by a mixture of disgust, annoyance, and anger. It was as if he was looking at a repulsive insect. Her embarrassment and the sense of betrayal was too great. She killed herself that night in the school, but nobody spoke on why she really killed herself. Find my body for me. The weather was so hot that it made it hard to breathe, and the cicadas would not stop chirping. The foreman in charge of the construction to connect the new building to the old found everything irritating. In his opinion, it was a pointless project, but he wasn't going to complain since it was paid work. The sun blazed even hotter after lunch, and the heat waves rose off the asphalt. The workers protested that it was too hot to work. The foreman was both jealous and spiteful of the brash attitude of the workers. However, he agreed it was too hot to work. The foreman ordered his workers to take a break. No progress was being made anyways, and if a worker happened to get a heat stroke, it would just make matters worse. Everyone found a spot in the shade and slept soundly. Then something happened while everyone was deep in sleep. A loud cracking sound echoed through campus. It sounded like the scaffolding had crashed through the safety net. Still drowsy from their nap, the workers paid no attention to it and went back to sleep. It was different matter for the foreman. If there was indeed a problem with the safety net, it would be his responsibility. He yelled at his workers to check out the safety net, but they pretended like they didn't hear him. Annoyed, the foreman realized that he had to check it out himself. The workers who were debating whether to get up or not were glad that the foreman had left without them. Suddenly, the foreman yelled and then was cut off, leaving an eerie silence. The workers jumped up and rushed to the foreman. The foreman was frozen in shock, staring at a terrible sight. Where the scaffold had fallen through the safety net was the dead body of a woman. The woman's corpse had no head. The foreman and the workers instantly recognized the dead woman as someone who worked in a local restaurant. From the chopped stump of her neck, dark red blood was spewing out, soaking into the ground. The foreman and the workers kept their mouths shut and moved quickly. It was the first time they had worked together so harmoniously. Despite searching everywhere, they could not find the missing head. In the end, they buried the body in cement and sent it to a waste facility. It seemed like they did a perfect job covering what had happened. No one would ever know what had happened aside from themselves. For some reason, those strange accidents kept on happening after the incident. Workers were injured much more frequently than before. This slowed progress on construction, and a rumor spread among the workers that there was a ghost at the site. The foreman fumed with anger and ordered his men to keep their mouths shut. Then a pulley fell from the fourth floor and crushed a worker to death. While his body had been mangled by the pulley, his head was strangely unharmed. The foreman became terrified and decided to turn himself into the police. Even then, rumors persist that a floating head could sometimes be seen. Eventually, the construction work was complete despite the slow progress. When the school reopened after summer break, they were shocked to find the dead woman's head in the garden. They say that the head looked as if it had just been cut off the body, despite the fact that it had been out in the heat of the summer for weeks. Mysterious note, an upside-down clock pendulum. His voice shall be the key to unlocking the secret of music appreciation. code 1328. 10. Competitive spirit. 𝐀𝐧𝐲's father passed away when she was young, so her family struggled with money. Her family expected her to go to a vocational high school and start making money as soon as possible. 𝐀𝐧, however, had a different idea. To her, studying hard and getting into a good college was the only chance they had at escaping poverty. So, against her family's wishes, she decided to attend a regular high school. In high school, 𝐀𝐧 stayed true to her goal of studying hard. Her grades were so excellent that she became one of the top students in the prestigious white high school. For her, however, it was not enough. No matter how hard she tried, she just couldn't beat the student in first place. The number one student was a cheerful girl named 𝐴. She had always been popular because of her smarts and kind nature. It was said her father was a top government official. Maybe that explained how 𝐴 could be so confident and positive all the time. 𝐀𝐧 had never once seen her study. She only ever saw her laughing with her friends. In spite of this, 𝐴 always had better grades than her. When does she study? 𝐀𝐧 wondered. She decided that 𝐴 must be getting very expensive private tutoring. 𝐀𝐧 chewed on her nails out of anxiety. She felt as if she and her family would be doomed to live in poverty forever if she didn't figure out a way to beat 𝐴 and become the top student. So she threw herself into her studies more ever before. She hardly slept and studied so hard that she felt like her eyes could bore a hole through her textbooks. As time passed, dark circles formed under her eyes. Finally, the exam that she had prepared so much for was over. All her classmates complained that the exam was way too difficult. She sat back in her chair and smiled, believing that she had aced it. I will finally beat her this time. KH closed her eyes and could already imagine SY's tearful face. At last, the day they would receive their report cards came. The room was filled with varying reactions to the report cards. Some were crying, some were relieved, and some just didn't care. KH looked at her report card with confidence, then her face twisted in shock. Second place on the report card, it was written that she scored second best again. She turned to look at SY and saw her smiling brightly with her friends. She had lost to her again. KH was so stunned after this that she could not focus during any of her classes. Only one thing filled her mind, and that was SY. How the hell could she beat me every time? It must be the expensive private lessons, but I don't have that kind of luxury. This means I could never beat her. It's over now. We will just have to live in poverty forever. KH, from the trauma of her stress, developed a mental disorder and ended up killing herself. A rumor spread after her death that a ghost had begun to appear in the library. It is said that if you remain in the library to study until midnight, a girl will glare at you with her chin resting on her hands before suddenly disappearing. Art Midterm Exam Guide. Art Midterm Exam. Creating a clay doll. Instructions. To complete on schedule, create the clay doll following the directions below. Materials. Use special educational clay purchased at school. Method. 1. Knead the clay to form a certain shape. 2. Dry in a cool place. 3. Use the electric kiln to fire it. 4. Cool it slowly under running water. Graded standards. 1. The clay doll's appearance and color, 60%. 2. Kneading methods and class participation, 30%. 3. Presentation, 10%. Ownerless Diary, February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. He seemed like he enjoyed the chocolates, even though he said otherwise. It's not even 100 days yet, but I feel like we've known each other for a long time. I hope this doesn't change. We know we love each other, but it's nerve-wracking sometimes. Are other people like us too? February 20th. I've caught a cold. I called him. Hearing him angry startled me, but also made me happy. It came off as awkwardly cute that someone like him who rarely shows emotion was worried about me, but it's screaming, why the hell did you get sick? The only way to express your concern? February 26th. I wonder if I got fat during the winter. I feel all bloated lately. He made fun of me for my weight gain. He didn't make it sound so bad. What I'm really sad about is the fact that he doesn't express his emotion. Blah. March 5th. Everyone's still getting used to the new term, but they all look happy. It's good seeing everyone again, talking and laughing together. But it was impossible to see him once school started. We both knew we were busy because of the schoolwork, but it didn't stop me from missing him. Lately, I've been feeling sluggish. I think I didn't get enough exercise during the winter break. March 14th, White Day. All the kids were buzzing over GJ all day. I think her boyfriend snuck into school last night to leave her a box of candy. Damn the girl. She's particularly glowing with glee all day. I know I shouldn't feel this way, but I feel annoyed at her. He didn't do anything for me. I was so sad I could die. March 20th. It's too early to call it spring, I think. I'm down with the cold. My body's out of whack. I mean, I am a senior after all, but still, I talked to him on the phone today. He said something about the duties as a student and whatnot. He meant that we need to take a break from seeing each other. I feel suddenly scared. I'm scared that I'll never see him again. March 25th. The midterm schedule is set. Today is our 100th day anniversary. We didn't even get to talk on the phone. I'm sure he is busy, but I desperately need to hear his voice and see his smiling face. I can hardly control my emotions. I keep thinking about killing myself. April 4th, with a sense of dread, I ran the pregnancy test. The result wasn't what I hoped it would be. Having a new life inside me was scary, but in a way, it made me feel better. I'm worried about his reaction. Should I tell him maybe he will take more interest in me? But at the same time, wouldn't I be a burden to him? April 8th, his reaction was unexpectedly cold and scary. He even threatened that he will never see me again if I didn't lose the baby. It scared me to death, but I will give birth to this baby no matter what. I am thankful to the new life inside me. I will keep it even if I have to die. I can't stop looking at the cover of the art book. It's a picture of a clay doll of a woman and her baby holding hands. 3. Boy kills girl. J.S., a new transfer student to White High School, had recently heard a horror story about the school from a classmate. So, of course, of all the nights, the night he had to come back to school to grab something he left was a stormy night. The quiet pouring of the rain reminded him too much of the scary story only a few years before. There was a student named J.H. She was dating a boy named M.H., who shared the same homeroom as her during the first 2 years of school. When they were in their senior year, they were assigned to different homerooms, and J.H. began dating H.Y., who was in the same homeroom as her. M.H. could not accept such a sudden breakup after dating J.H. for 2 years. He tried multiple times to go see her and plead his case, but J.H. completely ignored him, growing more resentful with each rejection. M.H. began to hate J.H. One day, M.H. decided to go see J.H. one last time in her homeroom during lunch break. J.H., just like all the times before, was cold and cruel and ignored his pleas. Enraged, M.H. took out the knife he had brought with him. Of course, he wasn't planning on hurting her. He wanted to mend his wounded ego by watching her tremble, seeing her finally acknowledge him. However, J.H. knew him all too well. She knew that even though he acted tough, he was just a narrow-minded, scared little boy. Seeing his desperate attempt with the knife made him so repulsive that she became angry at him. She called him names and taunted that he would never have the guts to actually use the knife. As her taunting worked, M.H., momentarily blinded by rage, swung his knife and stabbed J.H. J.H. fell to the ground, her blood running across the entire floor. M.H., scared and confused by the scene, went berserk. Due to M.H. slashing his knife crazily around him, no one dared to go near J.H. They could only watch from afar as she bled out. Since that day, there is said to have been sightings of a female ghost laying down on the floor as if asleep. J.S. tried to block this story from his mind when he reached the classroom. When he opened the door, though, his efforts were in vain, and he tripped, falling backwards in terror. He saw a girl laying on the ground in the dark, like she was fast asleep.
𝕎𝕬𝕚! 𝕎𝕬𝕚! Hey! On!
Go after 𝕎𝕬𝕚 or talk to 𝕬𝕚. Well, that wraps up this video. I am Aries Gaming Goddess. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you like. Until next time, bye.